Today we're in Hartford, Connecticut for That's for Entertainment's 90s Con! 90s Con! Let's go! Do you dance when you're making the burgers?
Yes, all the time. All the time. You
It's
know?
all about that?
Put them on the grill. You gotta
Show me, teach me the grill dance. Okay.
Oh, you know I did Dance with the Stars, so you know it's the whole dance.
I know you did
Come
Dance
on,
with
hey! Okay. Yes.
Wow, what is
Yes.
it that you love best about it, Ed? Like, what's going on here?
Okay, so check it out. So for me, I saw the fans were dressing up. You know what I mean? And I thought it'd be really cool that they come here and see like the celebrity dressed in the actual outfit. I mean, if you can still do it, dude, do it. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You look fine.
Thank you so much.
Fine. I mean,
Yeah,
are
thank
you eating burgers? I mean, do you eat the burgers?
I do eat burgers. I eat good burgers.
Good
But
burgers.
like sometimes I do a vegan burger and like a bean burger. You know. Yeah, no gluten.
No gluten. Ketchup, mustard,
Yeah,
mayonnaise.
yeah.
What comes on a good burger?
Oh, well, you know, for a good burger, it has to be seasoned correctly, okay? And it has to have a little bounce to it. Like when you put your finger in there, it gotta have that juice that just runs out of it, dude. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the people here.
Yes.
I really do. Like, people are coming up having just such a great day, celebrating life. Ed, what's coming up for you in 2025 that makes you feel like you're living life fully?
I'm living life fully. You know, every day you wake up is a celebration, right?
Yes.
And to have joy and put smiles on people's faces. And also Kel, my cousin Kel,
Yeah.
he's doing an off-Broadway musical right now.
way.
Yes, he is. It starts this Thursday at OFC Theater. Yeah, he's in Rochester, New York. It's going to be awesome. He's playing Moonface Martin and Anything Goes. And he's doing an amazing job. So,
Anything
yeah.
Goes?
Yeah, Anything Goes. So you make sure you see him. He's getting his dance on and everything. Yeah, so it's super
Anything
cool.
goes.
Anything goes. Friendship, friendship.
On today's show, we're going to discuss intellectual property. With us now are Michael and Stephen, and we are going to be discussing intellectual property. And in fact, they're helping me with a trademark. Welcome to the show. How are you both? You good today?
Great.
Doing well,
Thanks for
Donna.
having us,
Thanks.
Donna.
Great. Intellectual property. You work at Dilworth and Barrese, right?
Correct.
So, Michael, what do you specify in? I know you kind of work with patents, right? What is
Correct.
intellectual property overall? And then let's discuss patents.
Well, intellectual property is anything that a person will create. It could be copyrightable material, such as music or textual works. It could be inventions, such as a machine or a process or a chemical compound. And then it could also include trademarks, which Steve specializes in.
So, Steve, what are trademarks?
So trademarks are words, phrases, logos, or combination of all that distinguish someone's goods and services from others. So it gives you exclusive rights to use these terms or phrases on specific goods and services.
Now, one of the things I noticed over the course of time is that I am a living person, right? So even my name, as a living person, I had to say to someone, okay, the Donna Drake Show represents a living person. It's very complicated. A lot of times people think that they're going to make their own logo and that's all the protection that they need because they made their logo. But that's not necessarily the case, correct? Why is it important to make sure that your mark is trademarked?
Well, first of all, like you said, most people think that they get a phrase or logo and it can stop everyone in the country from using that phrase or term. But that's really not the case because it's specifically for goods and services. So you could have the same name in two completely different industries that could share that name. That is trademarked.
Okay.
But as far as why you would want to get something trademarked, it's your brand, and you want to protect your brand from somebody else using that name in the same field, competing with you.
There used to be a beverage called Like was a soda, right? And they had, a certain, I guess, trademark, if you will, because it was a brand. It was the piece of art, really, that labeled that brand. But then the formulation would also be, I guess, something that you would patent. So in that case, you would need both a patent for the formulation, correct? As well as the trademark for what it's called. Is that right, Mike? You would need both, Michael?
Well, the patents, as far as ingredients in a particular product, that's not the subject of patents.
Okay.
Particularly. That would be more of a trade secret, which also falls under intellectual property.
Okay.
So formulas and the ingredients in products that are out on the market, just like the Coca-Cola brand, that's a trade secret, and they keep it a secret that way in order to protect their formula. So that's another area of intellectual property.
But if the bottle had like a special type of cap, right, that was maybe like a flip top, that would be something that you could patent.
Correct.
Okay.
Any mechanical structures like that are the subject of patents, and there's many, like the flip top, the shape of the Coca-Cola bottle is patented in a design patent, which they protect very well in their products.
So both of you, I was asking you before, like what your hobbies are. I know that you're both type of creative people. Is it fun for you to be able to help somebody take their creative ideas and their intellectual property and like protect them? Is that like a fun process when they finally get that special number that says, boom, you own that?
Yeah, I mean, it is fun. And, we have clients from all different areas, as small as restaurants to as large as, cell phone makers.
Okay.
And, it's fun to get the trademarks. And, I could driving down the road, I see a truck with the trademark that I got, help them register. And, it's satisfying. Yeah.
It's the same thing for patents, too. I enjoy working with the inventors,
Right.
Small and large companies. But when you have a small inventor working out of his garage, or a startup company that's just building their IP portfolio, to help them and guide them through that process, what they need, even when it comes down to their budgeting, to help them in that side of it. It's always a wonderful thing to watch them grow and really start hitting the market and making it big.
There's an inventor that came on my show probably about 1.5 years ago. And what they invented was this little cube that helps when the door, like a door jamb, right? So that children's fingers don't get caught in the door. And I've had this cube laying around, like 18 months or whatever now. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, and I found a reason for it, which is in Studio C. That door automatically locks behind you, but now it's got like a magnet. It's just this little cube. You stick it in there and boom, and he has the patent. Sometimes it says patent pending. Does that mean like you've got a great invention, but like Michael, you're in the process of making sure that it gets done?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you prepare and file an application with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and that application then gets examined by a patent examiner. And during that examination process, you could use the term patent pending to put other individuals and companies on notice that there is a patent application on file that may issue into a
Like
patent.
they got there first.
Yes,
Meaning like you
exactly.
might think you've got the idea, but we got there first.
Correct.
Right? I think that's the other reason too that it's important to make sure that you get all of the legal issues taken care of. It's really to protect you. Like if you're smart enough to invent something or create a logo, or you have a brand, it's important because there's value in that, right? There's value in that. And it's nice that you have this company where you're helping people respect the process.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Specifically with trademarks, it's an asset. And, your brand is an asset. You sell a company, what are you selling? You're selling your brand. And I've had several companies that had trademarks that we filed for them and have family of trademarks and go on to sell that company for, 10, 20, $30 million.
Well, I hope that happens with me. No. In all fairness, when I started the show, I used to call it Live It Up. And now it's a hybrid. It's the Donna Drake Show, Live It Up, right? Because I didn't really want to get away from the purpose of why it was called Live It Up. My husband, Tom, that had passed away, wrote a song, Life is Only What You Make of It. And 17 years ago, when I started the show, I called it Live It Up because it was short for that. But my mission remains the same. And I had tried to register the trademark years ago by myself. I did an okay job. But there's a process where they keep contacting you. And you need to be able to respond to these things. So now, since that trademark had expired, right, I hired you guys, and I'm really thankful because you're going to help walk that through, right? Because my Live It Up mark is cool. It's got an upside down, exclamation point. It has zest. It kind of looks like what it is that I do. So I thank you for that. So not only are you a guest on my show, but I'm also your client, right?
Yes.
In full disclosure. I thank you. Are there any other things that you think that the audience might want to know about trademarks or patents? I think you guys did a really good job explaining it. I kind of fumbled through it thinking the patent was the formalization, but that's not. That's intellectual property, and it's the mechanism that is the patent.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I could say is, trademarks are good for 10 years.
Okay.
But they're renewable every 10 years. So you could theoretically have a trademark forever as long as you maintain the trademark and file the renewals every 10 years. Patents are different.
Patents last for a 20-year monopoly that the government gives you. So
20 years. It doesn't really seem like enough, does it? I'm just saying.
they've worked that out over
Okay.
the years,
Okay.
and it seems like if a company has a product, the life of the product is usually around that 20-year mark. That after that, actually the patented idea goes into the public domain. So you have 20 years to make money and exclude others from your patented product, and after that, anybody can practice that particular invention.
My great-grandfather, George Stevens, had a patent for fire doors, and I was able to look it up, and I was able to take a picture of the schematic. And my youngest son is becoming an engineer, and I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. So sometimes you can also frame those things. It could be like a family, gift to
Yeah,
someone.
the patents still, they still publish the patents, and many of our clients have them hanging on their walls in their company offices. Yeah.
And the company that you work with, I know it's been around for a long time, right? Because you're the
Yeah,
second
almost 40
generation.
years.
Okay.
My father started it in 1987, and we've been keeping it going for all these years. We have relationships around the world. We file patents outside of the U.S. with other attorneys that we've known for a really long time. So, I think we're doing something right.
Yeah, I think you're doing a lot right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us.
Thank
If
you.
you have some intellectual property that you want to protect, please reach out to them. And thank you for watching.
The new year strong with Boom Chaga. Our liquid concentrate turns any drink into your daily super drink, boosting energy, focus, and health. Make 2025 your healthiest year yet.
Sometimes great family recipes can develop into a restaurant. Joining us now is Olga, and she owns Olga's Kitchen. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you, Donna. Thank you.
What
for
made
having me.
you decide to open a restaurant?
It was an accident.
Okay, what happened?
It was, excuse me, 2008.
Okay.
I was in corporate finance, and the market collapsed. I lost my job, and I thought, why don't I go and open up a restaurant? I was young and stupid. And then
No, you were young and smart because you realize that everybody needs to eat, right?
True.
Right.
True,
Okay.
true.
Okay.
And it was my passion. It was like a cupid. Bang. So then here we go, 15 years later.
Okay.
Still doing
15
that.
years later, and you're still doing Olga's Kitchen.
Yeah.
What's so nice about Olga's Kitchen, your restaurant, is the fact that it's comfortable. It's a neighborhood hangout. It's where people go after the end of a busy day, and they can just chillax, right? Just relax, enjoy each other's conversation with good food. So today, you brought our crew some delicious things. What are some of the things that you specialize in?
Yes. So the cuisine is Mediterranean, Aegean, to be specific. It's a mix of Greek and Turkish.
Okay.
Because I'm just obsessed about both cultures. And we're really famous for our dips, meze, 2 types of hummus, beet hummus, squash hummus, labne, which is the yogurt, strained yogurt, muhammara, which is like roasted peppers and almonds, tara masalata, which is the fish roe, smoked fish roe dip. And amazing za'atar pita with vegetables. And we have like some feta cigars, deviled eggs, spanakopita, zucchini fritters, codfish croquettes.
Lovely.
So, yay.
Okay, so you have both vegetarian choices,
A lot.
as well as pescatarian choices.
Yes,
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
True.
Right. So the atmosphere of your restaurant, why did you curate it that way?
Because, you know, it's a home away from home. Because I spend so much time there, and a lot of my friends come. It's the living room of the neighborhood.
Okay.
So,
I like what you said. The living room of the neighborhood.
kitchen is the living room of the neighborhood. We have couches, we have, you know, armchairs. People come relax with a glass of wine, with a snack, and enjoy.
What advice would you give to someone that wants to switch gears? Maybe they're in finance, you know, maybe they're a pilot, and they just retire and they just want to open up a restaurant. What's a good first step?
Oh, well, make sure it's your passion.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of work. Listen, go for it. Life is for living. Why not? If you want to do it, do it.
If you want to do it, do it. Lovely. Have you seen people like come and like create new businesses or people get engaged? Like, what have you witnessed in their life over all these years, the magic that happens at Olga's?
Thank you for asking this. This is why I love the business. It's so kind and we make people happy, you know, and I've seen engagements happening in the restaurant. We see kids grow. First we have their, you know, first birthday, and then we have their bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. Like, you know, it's like what? And then they go to college. Rehearsal dinners, baby showers, bridal showers, you name it. I mean, I don't want to say I've seen it all, but
You've
it's
seen many
beautiful.
things.
I've seen
Many
things.
different beautiful
Yes.
moments have come in and out of the door.
True.
That I guess makes you, like you said, if you're passionate about it, you don't mind the long hours, you just go for it. What is your favorite menu item that you like to enjoy eating? You're like, you know what, I got a craving for what?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Our chicken soup.
Your chicken soup?
and potato latkes, and we're famous for that.
You are?
Yeah.
Your chicken soup and your what latkes?
Potato latkes.
Your potato latkes.
Yeah.
Hands down, you're the best.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like that never changed throughout like 15 years of the restaurant. Because I
Okay.
tweaked the menu so many times.
Right.
But chicken soup never went anywhere, and potato latkes is like a thing.
It's an everyday staple.
Yeah.
Olga, thank you for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
so
being an
much.
inspiration. I know that
Thank you.
you know you've gone through many different challenges in your life, and the fact that you're able to be there and, like you said, to be the living room of your neighborhood, beautiful. Beautiful what you do. Thanks
you.
for joining us. Side note, my grandfather was a chef, and he and his brother Emil owned a restaurant as well. You know, there's something about delicious, nutritious, wonderful food, and also the atmosphere. So the official name is Kitchen at Cobble Hill, but everyone knows it as Olga's Kitchen. Thanks for watching. Good evening. We are here once again for ADAPT. We are on the red carpet, one of my favorite charities. They're a fabulous organization, and we're here at Cipriani's in NYC. Stay tuned for all the action.
We are living the future. The future is now.
In the last 10 years, we have more than tripled in size and have dramatically expanded into other intellectual and developmental disabilities.
We're adapting to the students and the clientele that's coming into our programs each and every day.
ADAPT has always been interested in the utilization of technology.
And with us now is Linda. How are you today?
Great. How are you?
Good. So you are now the CEO. This is your first year in that position.
That's
and
correct.
it's the first gala since Mr. Matthews' passing.
Yeah.
Tell us about your heartfelt feelings about this evening.
It's a lot of mixed emotion tonight.
Last year at the gala, he had just gone into the hospital. And in truth, he was in the hospital from then until November when he passed. So it's been very difficult. He was the heart and soul of ADAPT, so we miss him, and we just can't believe that we're here now at another chapter in ADAPT Community Network. But our goal is to pay it forward.
Well, I think his spirit is with us tonight, and I know that he's proud of all of us for, especially you, for carrying the torch so well. Tonight, there's over 600 people attending, Linda.
Yes.
That's a record number. So congratulations. People love us, right? They love ADAPT. Let's hope so, yes.
Absolutely. So I think a theme throughout my career has been innovation, bringing technological solutions to improve customers' lives and people's lives. And I have the great privilege of working for Cox Enterprises, a family-owned company that's been around for 126 years. And our mission is to build a better future for the next generation. And part of what we do is to innovate and develop technology and accessibility solutions so that people who need those specific technology solutions can enjoy our connectivity and our TV offerings. It's all about the values of the company. Okay. It's about giving back to the community, and it's about supporting our employees. And I really felt a heartfelt drawing to that culture and that mission. And the Buddhists say that when you are doing your best work that you're good at, in the service of others, you are living in your Dharma. And I must say, at Cox Enterprises, I am living in my Dharma, serving all of our customers and our beautiful citizens around this country.
What were some of the things that you implemented? You have technology that allows people's remote controls and the set-top boxes. What specifically did you guys put together?
Yeah, a couple of things. So if you think about enjoying our wonderful TV offerings, we have a voice remote, which gets you right to the good stuff with your voice control. You can, some of our customers can use their eyes only to navigate the guide, and others use a tuck or puff mechanism to help them navigate. And then for our digital and e-commerce offerings, we offer Braille, we offer website readers. We live in such a digital world that it's so important to have those accessibility solutions.
I agree. I thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful time tonight. And please take back my glad tidings to your company, just to say that I said thank you. So thank you so, so much.
So in my life, even before my injury, when I gave up fashion photography, actually I was a care worker. I walked away from fashion, a very successful career, hanging out with the likes of Mariah Carey, Lenny Kravitz, to become a care worker. And people said, what have you done? You've walked away from this glamorous life, getting paid a lot of money, to be a care worker for a young man with autism. And I said, yes, but for the first time in my life, I'm happy. Because the first time in my life, I could see the direct and positive impact on somebody else's life. So I've been a care worker for 2 years, then worked with somebody with multiple sclerosis for another 3 years. So in my 30s, I spent 5 years of my life as a care worker, so I understand what that is. Then, of course, in my own journey, 10 years later, I ended up getting injured and having to learn to live with disability myself. But I always say that was a gift, because it meant I could connect with the people I document in a completely different way. So for me, my experience really means that I understand the work that ADAPT does. And I'm a big believer that you cannot empower someone else. Now, a lot of organizations, they talk about empowering other people. What I learned in my own recovery is that when I was in pain, putting prosthetic legs on, learning to walk, be bleeding, nobody could make me do that. I had to do that. What I needed was the people around me to help and facilitate my self-empowerment. So what do we have to do? I have my own NGO as well. We have to break down the barriers and stop people empowering themselves. And that's exactly what ADAPT does.
I have been proud to amplify the work of ADAPT Community Network for more than 20 years now. My brother is here with me tonight. He was diagnosed with autism when he was a toddler. And during the 1960s, there was not much support or resources for children with autism. They were typically told to go into a facility and the parents were sometimes told to forget about them. ADAPT has shown what happens when you believe in the abilities of all people.
He's a cartoonist, right?
He is a cartoonist, and I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud to be his big sister, and he has truly inspired me, Donna, to do everything I can to amplify the work of organizations that help people who cannot help themselves. These are our cities, our states, and our nation's most vulnerable population. And it's organizations like ADAPT that answer the call to speak out for those who can't speak up for themselves.
And oftentimes their talents are our treasure, right? Like your brother's art or someone else's theater, they're able to perform. Like everybody has an it in life, right? And it's just helping them find their it and celebrating it in such a way that we all get to find that joy.
That's so true, so well said, Donna, because my brother has been creating cartoons since he was a little kid. And a lot of people thought it was just, what is that? What is he doing? It doesn't look like anything. And now he's a published author. Now, together, my brother and I go to schools and encourage children to pursue their art, to pursue their dreams, and to never judge someone. There was a time my brother could have never spoken in front of a crowd. Now he speaks in front of hundreds of children. So it's important to believe in them, be patient, support them, and that's what ADAPT Community Network does.
Why does ADAPT mean so much to you?
Well, I think two reasons. One, I grew up with two disabled parents my whole life from the time I was about 9 or 10 years old. So understanding the community and supporting the community has literally been part of my life. And I've been partners and friends with Jimmy Hausman for over 30 years. So Jimmy got me involved in ADAPT many, many years ago, and it's just an absolutely wonderful cause.
Now, your parents became disabled later in their life, so when you were little, it wasn't so, but then your family was challenged by that?
So when I was 7 and 9 years old, both my parents, who were in their 20s at the time, they got married as teenagers, they both had terrible accidents, and so they both became permanently disabled before I was 10.
Oh my goodness. So what is it about The Future Is Now, which is the theme for tonight, that resonates with your heart?
For me, understanding how important it is that we can make a difference if we just take that first step and say, hey, you know what? We don't have to talk about what we're going to do later, what we might do, what we want to do. We have to just take that first step, and that first step always leads to a second and a third.
You graduated from Hofstra University with your law degree. Do you ever go back to your alma mater to kind of give back to them as well through mentorship?
So it's interesting you say that, because my wife and I have set up a permanent scholarship years ago at Hofstra for kids whose families were either in the military or the police force, which is what my family was. My dad, when he broke his neck and his back, he was a New York City police officer. And so we set up a permanent scholarship. And just on this past Saturday, I received a letter from the recipient of the scholarship. It could have been the nicest letter I've ever received in my life, thanking me for helping him to go to law school. And it was so touching, it was incredible, and it was just 2 days ago.
And that's what tonight's all about too. It's about, sometimes we might not ever hear from that person directly, but just knowing that our dollars, our time, our talent make a difference. For me, it has always fueled me since the age of 12. It's my why.
By the way, I always say that being in a position and being able to give and then to give, whether it's money or time, is so selfish. I always think of it as being selfish. I received that letter. I would have paid any amount of money to receive that letter, and they're thanking me, and meanwhile I'm saying, this is the best thing I've ever received in my life.
I think it's amazing in this day and age to get this amount of people out to support a cause like this. One of a kind.
Now, Mr. Matthews not being here this year, Linda has taken the reins. Yep. What are your hopes for 2025 for ADAPT?
Continue to grow, keep providing services for the people who need us, and it should be a great year.
Now, this is a family tradition for you, right? What is it that makes you still say yes? Because sometimes second generation, third generation, they don't really want to be bothered with the reasons and the whys of the people that were before them. But why did you personally say, yes, I'm still in?
Well, it's in my blood, first of all, and secondly, the need never goes away.
So this year, there's new technology that Cox has been helping you with.
Yes.
What other types of services do you need? Is there a wish list for you this year? Because they say the future is now. That's the theme.
It's AI, it's technology. It's going to make these people who have developmental disabilities, their lives better each and every day. The advancements we're going to see in the next 5 years are going to be spectacular. Hopefully Cox Communications will lead the charge, which I'm confident they will. And the future is bright.
And you have a lot of people that love you, people you went to high school with, all kinds of people. What does tonight mean to you?
Well, each and every year it's a culmination of a lot of effort on part of our staff and of our donors and of course our clients. And what it means to me is it's nice to see dedication and people who care in a world that sometimes spins out of control. And for me, each and every year it's a coming home.
Speaking of coming home, earlier tonight, your daughter is here as well. How many children do you have? You just have the one daughter?
I have 2 kids. One's up in boarding school and the other here is, present with us.
Okay. Do you think the family tradition is going to continue in good hands?
Oh, it better. They pretty much have no choice.
I just love the fact that ADAPT always looks at the whole person and comes up with individual solutions, one person at a time. I think, we get caught up in this mob mentality, but ADAPT has always been very, very singular and targeted specific individuals to help them achieve, their life goals in the best way possible, the most technologically advanced way possible, always providing those resources. So I'm just excited to see what's next, and I'm always excited to be here. I love these people. I think they're just amazing and on the forefront of all the exciting, cool stuff.
No matter where you are in the world, you can make a difference. This is one of the organizations that I vet wholeheartedly. So please go check out more, make a donation if you can. We can make a difference by sharing our time, our talent, or our treasure. I'm Donna Drake, signing off.
Meet Boom Chaga, packed with powerful antioxidants and beta-glucans to support pain relief, heart health, and gut wellness. Where nature meets science, one sip at a time.
Joining us now is May Peng. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
My goodness gracious, I was jumping for joy when I found out we were going to be able to celebrate you and your beautiful journey in photography. I was so excited. I was someone recently that got to go to Abbey Road Studios, and there's just magic, absolute magic in every wall, every moment. I did the sidewalk, I did the walkway. I loved it. I really loved it. But I was excited to talk with you because you're iconic. You are special. You are unique and one of a kind. So May, tell us about, oh my gosh, so excited to meet you. I want to know about, I guess, that moment for you that ended up being life-changing, from when you went from like a private citizen to a public citizen. Did you notice the shift at that time in your life?
I did, but I sort of brushed past it because I always thought there's only one person in the family, as I would say, in the relationship that's the star, and it wasn't me. So I looked past it and I said, the only person is the guy that was with me named John. And when people would come to me and say, can I have your autograph? And I said, you don't want mine, you want that guy. And they goes, no, I want yours. And I said, no, you don't. And they go, yes, we do. And that was the moment I kept saying, my autograph? That's weird.
A very significant love of your life, John Lennon, at a very significant, special time, right? A romance, a friendship, so much blossomed, so much life energy was happening. And it was a very unique situation, correct?
True. Nobody realized that we were together. We tried to not really make a big thing of it. John was having, he was separated, with all the rumors that are out. No, John was separated. We lived together on the East Side in New York. We did not live in LA. We were not sent out there by Yoko or anything else. We went out there to do projects, and we stayed out there whenever we did. But we did fly home to New York all the time, but nobody realized that.
I like that. Thank you for setting that straight. You know, a lot of times there's this public awareness of they think that they know, but they don't actually. My control room just told me that my hair was in my mic, so I'm just flipping it out. It's not like I'm pretending like I'm Cher May or anything like that, but there's a lot of times when you're a public person and people are following you and they're saying one thing, they're saying something else. But you brought these photos that are so rare and so poignant forth, right? Tell us about that. Tell us about your curation of these moments.
Well, you know, a friend of mine named Scott Siegelbaum kept saying, chased me for 6 years. I think we should bring your photos to life and show them to the world and let people come and see them. And I kept saying, no, I don't think anybody's interested. They're not really anything special. And he goes, you'll be surprised. So he didn't, I held him back. I was in the middle of doing a documentary as well, and I didn't want it out all at the same time. And when it was time, and it took him 6 years, he waited 6 years, he would call every few months. I finally said, okay, let's try it out and see how it worked. That started about 2 years ago. I've been on the road since, and it's a special look into our lives. It's basically more John's life. When you see him and he looks different, and you're really seeing him through my eyes, the way I saw him, which was totally different from any of those photographs that anybody would take for a magazine. I just picked, this was our home life, and I took pictures just for us.
Yeah, exquisite and rare to capture those moments. And you're right, there's a certain, you know, way that we pose for pictures, right? There's a body, you know, position, if you will, when we're forward facing, right? And there's another thing.
Even if it's,
yes?
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if it's, you think, oh, it's I'm at home, you know there's a camera looking at you. And this was not the way we were doing it. I was just really just taking photos whenever I felt like it.
Right. You're like, oh, that's cute. Let me snap a picture, right? I'm sure sometimes they didn't even know, the boys probably didn't even know that you were there, right? You're just like, oh, snapping and enjoying your time together.
Right. So it's a different John.
Yeah, a different John. But that's not the title of the book. What's the title of the book, May?
Well, the book that came out with the photographs was called Instamatic Karma, Photographs of John Lennon. And then, but previous, in 1983, I put out a book called Loving John. That was my first book about my life with him. And then about in 2022, many years in between, it's taken many years, I was invited to put out my documentary to Tribeca Film Festival. So all this is a span of 50 years. My
Amazing.
story.
The Lost Weekend, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's called The Lost Weekend, The Love Story.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I have the good fortune sometimes to do press on the red carpet of Tribeca Film Festival. I believe they do a really good job at like curating things like films and opportunities. Now I think it's just called Tribeca Festival because they showcase many different things. What's bringing you the most joy now in your journey, May? What's bringing you joy?
The joy is sharing John the way he was with me, which is totally different from anybody else. Everybody had with his other relationships. And so when they see it, you see Julian, you see Paul, you see George, you see Ringo, and it's all different from a different perspective. And I get a chance to talk to a lot of the fans that have been dying to ask me questions over the years, and they finally get a chance to talk to me, and I'm out there. And every time I go to a city, I've traveled to over 60 cities so far. You know, I get a chance to talk to these fans. It's really interesting.
Yeah, there's something so wonderful and magical and special. You know, it's the type of music where I'm able to know all the words to every song. You know, I even try like, you know, Michel, ma belle sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble. You know, like I try to sing anything, right? Or, you know, and It does bring us a lot of joy, but certainly, like I said, when I found out, May, I am so, I guess, joyful about the fact that you decided that you would come on and talk to me in person. It just, I don't know, it resonates with me. It was really special, and I thank you for your yes. I really thank you for your yes.
Oh, listen, I was thrilled. I'm going to be out in Sag Harbor this coming summer, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, out at the Julie Keys Gallery again. And you know, if you're out there, come on by. I mean, it's I have fun seeing people and talking to them. I really do.
I will definitely make it there. And what are you taking photos of these days? Are you like, do you take pictures of landscapes? Like, what do you like to use your camera for now? Landscapes?
I take landscape because I find the architecture is so interesting. It's different. And, you know, once in a while when people fit in, but on the whole, I'm finding the architecture, the landscape, the beauty of this earth, as it were. You know, you see flowers or you see pets, you know, it's all the different things. I'm enjoying life as it is.
Wonderful. I am as well. Happy journeys to you until we get to meet in person. It was lovely to have you here, May Pang. Happiness to you always.
Thank you.
Okay,
you
be well.
too.
Bye-bye. May Pang, wow. Enjoy your day and happy journeys to you, our audience. We thank you so much for watching. Joining us now is SiSi Hollywood. SiSi, how are you?
Hello, Donna. How are you? I'm doing great. It's always so nice to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. SiSi, where are you calling in from today?
I'm actually calling in from my beach house in Delaware. So we're just ready, wrap everything up and go for Florida for a vacation. So
that's nice. You have a special guest with us today. Who did you bring on?
Oh, yes, Donna, you know what? Every time when I'm standing here, when I speak to you, I always feel that deep connection because I know that we're joining hand, that shining that beacon of the light on humanity behind of their success. And you know, Donna, for me, I always feel it's not the glamours, you know, people see outside it matters, but it's the unscripted journey that shaped who we become. And today I have a very special guest who proved that concept. And let's welcome the director, Edward Drake.
Hello, Edward.
Hey, Donna, SiSi, how are you?
Hello, Edward. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I remember, Edward, your first documentary actually made you on this, you know, put you on the spotlight, was about a documentary about your dog, right?
Many years ago, I did do a few documentaries, yes, coming out of university and then into some feature movies, and yeah, very, very lucky and very grateful.
Edward Drake, it's so funny that we have the same last name. What is the
I know, that's what I thought. I thought like you have lost a brother in Australia.
I actually do have relatives in Australia, but not from the Drakes. It was from a different group, the Harveys. I'm related to the Harveys down in Australia and some Stevenses. But so Edward, what are you working on now? What project is lighting up your journey?
I'm currently in post-production on this awesome little movie with Kevin James, Christina Ricci, and Tim Murphy, which will be coming out in June in theaters in America. And then I think it comes out in May in certain territories around the world. So be able to look out for it then.
Well, it's great that you were able to cast.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's great that you were able to cast Kevin James because he has like some roots like right around here. Did you know that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we even shot in New Jersey. And so it was a real homecoming. And I fell in love with Jersey and New York. It was such a great shoot.
That is amazing, Edward. And you know, like from like just a few years now, like you have been working with all those legends like Bruce Willis, Frank Grillo, and you know Kevin James and Timothy Ray Murphy, our friend. So like how that all worked, like, how you pick up those projects and, get connected with those amazing, filmmakers.
For me, it was doubling down on my intuition. And as soon as I started writing the stories I really wanted to tell, not necessarily just trying to hit a certain target in the market or something like that, that's when my life changed. And the more truthful your work is, the more you're going to attract incredible humans. And I've been lucky enough to work with some of the best out there.
That is so true. Donna, don't you feel like you talk to Edward, you sense that very sincere energy, right? Like the sincerity, like the genuine, and that is what really connected to people. And I can say it's quite rare in Hollywood, because Hollywood is being famous for the flashy, the glamour and a little bit of fake, you know what I mean? So it's quite rare. And Edward, I knew like you have a very exciting trip coming, you're going to China, bring the whole Hollywood to China. Can you share a little bit this journey?
Very excited. I think we fly out tomorrow and we're off to Shanghai it's going to be a 5-day whirlwind trip. I'm going to eat all the food. I'm going to the Shanghai Baozi. If you ever go to Shanghai, they do dumplings there in this very specific way with the soup. It's amazing. So good.
Let's do a dumpling, Now you make a Donna want to go to Shanghai too, right?
And you'll be representing, you're like an ambassador, correct? What will you be doing on that trip over there?
I will be watching a bunch of films, and we're on Tim Murphy and I are going to be on this jury, and we are going to be getting to meet and connect with some awesome filmmakers from China and around the world, and can't wait for it.
And Edward, I feel like this time you're going to China, it's a very special time, because we all know right now that China and USA has those kind of trade war, the tariff. And I feel like people are kind of like build a war, between each other. And how do you feel like, what's the message you want to share with this world, not just as filmmakers, but to people, that how we can connect from heart to heart?
I write and direct action movies. I find fun ways to make cars blow up and hopefully have a few laughs along the way. I think that if we can just remember that art is this beautiful bridge to be able to connect people together, to share stories and experiences. I mean, I can't think of another art form out there where you can walk a mile in someone else's shoes. And it's beautiful. It's just how we learn to understand the world from different perspectives. And so if anything, it's just, remember, like you said, be kind to each other, think about what someone else is going through, and don't be too quick to judge. And also let's make some great movies.
Indeed. I thank you both for joining us today, and our best to Timothy. We hope that we're going to have him on the show as well after you guys get back from China, but safe journeys to you. And SiSi, thank you so much for introducing us to Edward, to another Drake to Drake. And I thank you all. And, that's the reason, Edward, that SiSi and I have become friends over the last several years. It's just that we have a like-minded heart. We're on a mission to bring peace and joy, and you certainly helped us further that today. So thank you so very much, and happy journeys to you.
The new year strong with Boom Chaga. Our liquid concentrate turns any drink into your daily super drink, boosting energy, focus, and health. Make 2025 your healthiest year yet.
Joining us now is Alicia, and she is the founder and CEO of Claspe. Welcome to the show. How are you, Alicia?
I'm great, thanks. Thank you so much for having me, Donna.
I lost a very special charm bracelet when I was in, high school. It was my megaphone, my cheerleading megaphone, and I was so sad. I went to the pizza parlor. I still look. It's been 45 years later. I keep thinking maybe somehow I'm gonna find it. What was your inspiration for creating this brand?
Thank you so much for asking. So, for me, it was not about losing something, but rather breaking something. So, right before my wedding, I actually broke a nail trying to put on a necklace with a traditional lobster clasp. And as a lifelong nail biter, that was devastating, frustrating, all the emotions. And I went online to search for better alternatives to lobster clasps, and I was really disappointed that nothing better existed. So I created it. So I created a patent pending design that is so much easier to put on and take off than traditional jewelry, and just launched the brand this past February.
Now, I'm looking at this on the note card, and it said something about vermeil. So it was, what is that term? Vermeil. Okay. Oh, it's French, vermeil. So what does that mean?
So vermeil is a style of plating that is actually 5 times thicker than traditional plated jewelry, which, as I'm sure we all know, is prone to scratching. You might find that some of your pieces actually wear off after a while. They might even turn your skin green depending on what's underneath. So all of my pieces are designed with sterling silver, which is a great metal if you require hypoallergenic jewelry, and then is covered with gold vermeil, meaning that it's 5 times thicker than plated jewelry. So basically, you're not paying the high price tag of solid gold, but you're also not getting kind of the cheap plated that might scratch or wear off after a period of time. So it's a really nice kind of in between metal quality for anybody who's looking to upgrade their jewelry, but without spending $1 million.
Yeah, congratulations on that, because I know that you do have a wide range of items and you have a great price value for what it is that you're doing. Are you excited to have your own jewelry brand? I mean, it sounds pretty phenomenal.
Yes. So it's not something that I set out to do, but rather I was frustrated with what was available on the market, and really admire women who take a frustrating point in their own life, find that it's frustrating for other women and other people in general, and create a solution. And so I'm more so proud of just being able to find a frustrating point that we can make better, because I think women are the ones wearing jewelry and we're not the ones profiting or benefiting from it. So that point I'm particularly proud of, and it's amazing to have my own brand, even though it wasn't something I set out to do, but it's something I have such passion for and really love.
And what are your goals and your aspirations for your brand this year?
Yeah, so I work full time while bootstrapping my business. So I am, working 40 plus hours a week and then spending every spare minute on Clasp. So building the brand, finally getting, my first few sales was so exciting. And now I'm looking forward to growing the brand really significantly and ultimately having that be my full-time focus. So really excited for that this year. And particularly excited to just, start getting national traction for a brand that I'm so passionate about.
Well, I thank you for trusting your brand to my hands, because that's what I love to do. I love celebrating inventors and entrepreneurs. I've been doing it for a long time now. It makes me so happy, because I can just imagine. So what did you end up doing with that nail that day? Did somebody have glue? Or did you just kind of walk around and kind of tuck your hand in? I want to know.
Luckily, it was a few days before the wedding, so luckily I had time to get a manicure, but I had been growing my nails out, so I had the, picture perfect mani for the big day, and I'm a nail biter, so that was a really big deal. So I had to get tips, unfortunately, for the big day, so it was a little bit clunkier and not necessarily like that timeless style I was looking for, but for the day, I was certainly kind of, trying to hide my nails as much as possible, but made it so much easier getting into my jewelry every day after that, since Claspe was born.
Yeah, it makes a big difference for me too. And I will tell you too that I don't think my dexterity is what it used to be. So I was actually happy to find your brand as well, because it's hard sometimes, when your fingers aren't as nimble anymore. And so it's good. It's a good solution also for someone like me. So I thank you for creating this.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's, it really took a long time to get to exactly the right solution. I certainly had multiple prototypes that I was experimenting with. I had my suppliers send me multiple different versions until I got it just right, and it was easy enough to put on with, right now I have tips on. And so making sure it was easy enough to put on while I had tips and finally got to the right solution. So it took a lot of back and forth, but I was really proud of the fact that we got there.
Well, you definitely should be. So thank you so much for joining us. Wish you all the best. And let's clasp it, right? Ta-da! Thank you so much. All right. Happy journeys to you, Alicia. Thanks for joining us.
Timothy, I got to ask you, 5 years in preparing for this, all the work, all the effort, the cameras finally get rolling. At any point, did the bigness of this whole thing, kind of catch up with you? Should we even be doing this?
Perhaps at the beginning, but after a while, I had so much time to work on it.
Right.
It almost felt like a relief to start shooting and a release in some way, and it was one of the most cathartic experiences I've had shooting. So.
Right. Was there a version of Dylan in the film that you felt more, in the zone with in playing, so to speak? Like, was it the younger Greenwich Village Bob Dylan versus, say, the Newport Jazz Fest Dylan?
No. But I feel like, on any movie, and especially a movie that spans years, and especially taking on someone as iconic as Bob Dylan, you're really just like chipping away. You try to be as humble about it as possible. You're trying to take little bites in a sense, I just pound my nail into the wall.
All right, Al, you're a big Dylan fan. How did this guy do?
Oh man, I remember seeing him perform for the first time in a scene, and I was completely blown away and am very moved about kind of the version of Dylan that Timothy was playing and how it was so not a caricature or an imitation. It was like a complete embodiment of a person. And so, yes, very good.
Meet Boom Chaga, packed with powerful antioxidants and beta-glucans to support pain relief, heart health, and gut wellness. Where nature meets science, one sip at a time.
This is Donna Drake. Happy journeys!
Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much more. Live it up, live it up, live it up now. Live it up now.
Thanks for watching Live It Up. You can visit us at liveituptvshow.com.